Oh, what's up, guys? Awesome American Trains here. Today, it's recording. Today, I'm going to be showing you a Python tutorial, and this is going to be a very short tutorial. It's going to be 10 minutes. It's going to be 10 minutes. I have my timer here, and this is a tutorial for the basics that you definitely need in Python if you want to learn Python. Which why not? It's a good language. Coding is pretty awesome in my opinion. So why not? And this is also going to be free for the people who don't want to spend $100,000 on a class. It's also for people who don't really want to watch a 1 to 4 hour video on Python, because I'm not sure how many people want to do that. So today I'm going to be sharing with you Python tutorial. So here we go. That's what we're do. Let's get Python is a language that has two modes to it: shell and editor. The shell is basically a place where you can do immediate feedback stuff. This is good for like getting your hands wet, and this is usually the first thing that you'll see when you open Python in your Windows browser or whatever. So this is a place where you can do anything you want, and it's basically like a human, basically like a miniature, like your it's basically like your standard calculator, because you can do math calculations with it. Basic math calculations with this, like 7 minus 8, 5 times 6. By the way, for multiplication, you don't want to use x. You may have been taught that in elementary school, but for Python, you want to do for multiplication. You want to use the pound. This symbol right here. I don't really know what it's called. I don't really know what it's called, but I think it's on the 8 button. Shift 8. That's the symbol we want to use for multiplication. Now next, but we will get into more details soon about that. So that's equals 30. And so that's basically like a human calculator. There's some other things you can do, but you can't really do any letters with it. So you can't do anything characters like other than numbers without special cases. So you can't do like the word you can't do the word kite. He'll say it's air because he doesn't know what's defined. But we gotta make it defined. And to make these types of strings or characters defined, you gotta put them in quotation marks. And you'll know if it's a string when it has a quotation mark, because the color will turn into green. So now if you do kite, it'll turn into kite, and now it'll allow it perfectly fine. So now, but still has quotation marks on it, and that might not always be convenient for most things. This is where the fundamental of all Python programs that you'll definitely use comes in. I'm talking about the fancy print statement. Print statement lets you print out whole sentences, strings, and any types of characters without limitation on how many you need. So if you want to say hello, sorry for the caps, how are you? And if you press enter, it'll just repeat hello, how are you, and there's no quotation marks on it. It is very handy for multiple things. This is very helpful things. So this is good to practice print statements, and a print statement is like a built-in function that the Python has built for you, so you can use to print stuff. And functions are a bit more detailed, but in a detailed, which will be in a detailed video. So I'm not going to explain right now, but what I will explain is, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, the other mode of Python is the file version, where you can write long programs. This is handy for writing big programs like a miniature game or any type of big program that requires a lot of programming and strings. You want to use this page. You want to use this file program, or this editor, what I like to call it. Most people like to call it. So the editor, and you want to run the program. You got just do run module. You have to save the program first before you run it, and then voila, it runs. Just leave that open for now. But you get the point. So yeah, the editor is probably the thing you want to use most when running programs because it's easier to write, and the shell is not really built for that. It is meant for like small programs. This shell is. So the next thing you want to do is another fundamental of Python that you'll definitely need in your Python journey is a thing called a variable. Now, if you take an algebra class, which I have, by the way, I recommend learning a bit algebra because algebra skills might come and play into this Python stuff. So a variable is basically like something that you can store something in it, numbers, strings, wherever you want, and it can be stored in variables. So for example, if say x equals 2, it's now 12 is now stored, x equals 12. There's number 12 is now stored in the letter x. And how I know that is because when I press x, it repeats back 12. And that variable is stored forever. See, I can read it all I want. So, and if I can do whatever I want with it. I can do 2 plus x. It'll give me 14. And there's another thing I can. So you can, and variables aren't just for numbers. You can do this for strings too. Like you can do dogs. Now when I press x equals to dogs. And that works fine. And by the way, if you get error, there's nothing wrong with errors because it gives you a chance to like get feedback and it gives you a chance to like correct your mistake. In fact, errors are probably a really good useful thing to do. So don't try to feel ashamed if you get errors. It's not a big deal. Yeah, it's not a big deal if you get an error. So just correct it and move on. And Python does a great job at pointing out the error for you, so you don't have to worry about finding it. So if you do get an error, it's probably alright. I'll explain more about errors in another video because this is supposed to be a basic tutorial video. I want to keep it as simple as I can. So errors will be another video, but I'll also show you some other stuff that you might need. And right now I'm going to show you something that is cool that you might want to use. And I think it's pretty cool to use and know how to use. There's another function, you already know the print statement, right? Also there's something similar to that called the input function. This is also a built-in Python function. So like, input function is like basically like for asking the program, or asking the user if they want to have a name, if they want to, sorry, English, okay. The input function is used for like asking the user what their name is, or asking the user for a number for a number program. So for example, if I say I equals input, what's your name, dude? And it'll tell me now it'll tell me what's your name, dude, and I'll say Harry. And now I'll say, and now since I put Harry in it, it should repeat back what it says. See, Harry. So input functions are very cool in my opinion, and this will lead to if statements, which I'll explain in another video because that's a bit complicated for beginners. But I assume you're a beginner if you clicked on this video. So these are pretty cool statements you can do. Also, another thing that's really cool, that's actually very important, that down the line of your programming experience, are something called comments. So comments are just like they're not part of the program. They won't do anything. They just be comments. Here you can just do whatever you want. You can do this, whatever. But these are very useful for describing long programs, or very high or very powerful parts of the program, or important parts of the program. So these are comments are very good for those things. So yeah, this is these are the basics of Python, and try these out for yourself, and try to work around it and look up some basic progress on the internet or something, so you can get lectures on these programs, because you gotta do these programs in order to get good at them. Alright, we have got 20 seconds, got 25 seconds left, so I'm just gonna say thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. I'm gonna do some more Python tutorials in the future, hopefully, because I like doing technology. And some next month is gonna be Overwatch month. Don't forget to hit subscribe, like the video, and comment down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.